Hi, this is Lisa, and welcome to this week's meditation and art therapy class organized by LEXSA Student Association. In today's video, we will be reflecting on our self-care practices, which is really something that many of us neglect on a daily basis, and which is also one of the reasons why stress can accumulate in our body and why we forget to be present in our daily lives. Most of us are way too caught up in our mental processes and emotions and really forget to look after ourselves on so many different levels. And self-care really is something that every human being has to learn in order to be fully integrated, in order to become mature, or to attain any kind of state of lasting happiness. And when we look at self-care topics, we encounter people with very different habits. First of all, there are the kinds of people who spend the majority of their time looking after other people and caring for their friends, for their family members, for their partners and children always first, while they're neglecting their own needs. Then there are also the kind of people who expect others to care for them and to provide them with reassurance, with love, and all kinds of other assistance and support, while they themselves subconsciously refuse to practice any kind of self-care. Then there are the people who don't even know what self-care is, or that they themselves or others might need it. And then there are people who already practice a lot of self-care and they do not even know that they are already doing it. And then, of course, there are also the ones who know that they need to integrate more self-care into their lives, but they do not really know how to do it. Well, some of you may already know how to do it, but you may also get easily distracted by your external environment, or perhaps fall back into habits of self-neglect, or just be distracted with all sorts of external concerns and worries that you may deprioritize your own self-care, even though you already know what you need in order to feel content and happy and calm and relaxed. So regardless in which of these categories you see yourself fitting in, we will look at self-care today through the lens of the 5 love languages. And some of you may already be familiar with them. The 5 love languages have been identified and promoted by Gary Chapman and are usually applied in order to bring harmony and a greater sense of understanding into relationships with our romantic partners. However, these 5 love languages work really well if we apply them to the relationship we have with ourselves. Basically, the 5 love languages indicate 5 different ways of how we love, and in our self-care context, how we communicate with ourselves and how we take care of ourselves, and put that into practical application. For those of you who are interested in applying the original 5 love languages to their relationships because they don't know them yet, you can take the 5 love languages online test on their website. It's called www.5 as the number, lovelanguages.com. And this test would show you your preference for all 5 love languages, which are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, physical touch, and quality time. And now we are going to look at these 5 love languages in the self-care context. So words of affirmation has something to do with how we express self-care or love to ourselves by the way of thoughts, the words we speak, and also what we write about, if you are the journaling type. Many of you have probably heard of affirmations, which are positive statements that we can speak out loud to ourselves in order to establish a positive sense of self-worth, or states of relaxation, or increase our confidence. And these positive statements are used to counteract negative beliefs and habits of self-doubt. So someone who feels that they're not smart enough, you might say, I am blessed with intelligence. I'm learning more and more every day. This could be an affirmation. If any of you are using affirmations in your life, it is sometimes more beneficial to phrase these as questions in order to avoid a, let's say, negating response from your subconscious mind. So you would ask, why am I so lovable? Instead of saying, I am lovable. Yeah. So for those of you who already use affirmations, they know how they work. And for those of you who have never tried it, you can do some research on affirmations and perhaps write some for yourselves and practice them, perhaps in front of the mirror. And yeah, see how you go with them and if they make any difference in your life. It's a very, very good tool for creating verbal self-care, and also to kind of counteract and soothe your negative beliefs that you have about yourself. So part of self-care is, of course, to notice and become aware of any kind of negative self-talk that is going on in your head on a daily basis. And also to mirror your speech, recognizing if you're talking ill about yourself and others, and whether you are gossiping, complaining, criticizing, or nagging, or whether you're regurgitating your problems on an ongoing basis, and therefore making it very impossible to find solutions and to reduce your stress. And while there are so many ways of overcoming negative beliefs that can show up as this negative self-talk, one important step is to notice that you're doing the negative self-talk, that it is happening right now, and to identify the talker, as the majority of our beliefs or conclusions that we have drawn about ourselves when we were children, usually in response to an event or comment made by parents or teachers, other family members, or even our peer group. So if you have thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, or I'm not worthy, simply know that this is information you have saved on your subconscious hard drive a long time ago, and that this is more or less like a tape that keeps on playing. And with more meditation practice, you will be able to witness these tapes playing out, and you will notice that you are no longer identified with them, which will reduce their impact and your stress response also. So generally, it is a really good idea to start appreciating yourself more and to practice appreciating yourself more. It is recommendable that you don't start focusing on your biggest obstacle right now and turn them into a positive, but to begin by complimenting yourself more, congratulating yourself if you have completed a task successfully or if you've done something really well. We all have positive aspects and characteristics that are not praised enough. And you can also leave some notes for yourself around the house to wish you a great day, to wish you luck, or bless you with love. And some people really prefer to type a different compliment message or encouraging comment or favorite quote in their phone calendar every evening. So they will receive this message as a reminder message during the next day, depending on which time you want to hear it on. Yeah. In short, words of affirmation as a self-care practice and love language is really about being nicer to yourself, becoming aware of your negative thoughts, and disassociating from these negative thought patterns because they are not really who you are. And the more you manage to disassociate from these beliefs, negative beliefs, you will realize that the natural level of well-being will just increase automatically, because that is what we naturally do in our body. Our body has an inbuilt regeneration process, a healing process, and that also applies to our emotional well-being and our relaxation response, which really is the opposite of our stress response. So perhaps just for a moment, close your eyes and have a think. What is it that I always wanted to hear? Which healing words would make a difference in my life right now? What kind of words or thoughts would calm me, soothe me, relax me, uplift me, empower me, or motivate me? These are important questions to ask. And if you have received an answer right now, you can write it down. And if not, you may think about it at a later time, if you wish. Now we're going to move on to our second love language, which is called acts of service, and which has to do with supportive actions and offering help and assistance. And in the context of self-care, we can ask ourselves, do I show up for myself? Do I perform and commit to tasks that will improve the quality of my life or of my future life? So this can be anything from submitting projects before the deadline and committing to your studies instead of procrastinating to the last minute and then stressing when papers are due. This can also be as simple as shopping for healthy food, doing your laundry, practicing regular hygiene, cleaning your house or your room, budget sensibly, fixing or replacing things that are broken, eating sensibly instead of skipping meals, sleeping enough, moving your body, all these things that support your quality of life and make things easier for you. So just take a moment to reflect and to decide whether there are areas in your life in which you do not show up for yourself, which can include areas like career and study, health and diet, domestic chores or finances. And if you feel that you are neglecting any of those, just make a list of them and then reflect and decide how you can fit them into your life in the easiest possible way without forcing yourself to make changes that you're really unwilling to make, but by coercing yourself with full awareness into taking better care of all these practical things in your life so that your quality of life will be lifted because you're getting things done in the way you want to get things done. Our third love language has to do with receiving gifts. In the self-care context, this would be ways to reward, spoil, or surprise yourself, which could be buying yourself a new piece of clothing, a nice shampoo, or picking yourself some wild flowers, or creating and decorating a meditation space in your room, or going for a coffee or healthy lunch after lockdown ends. And this can also mean changing your bed sheets on a more regular basis to freshen up your sleeping area energetically. And while I'm not encouraging anyone to go out on a shopping spree or buy things you don't need, it is worthwhile paying attention which little gifts make a difference to your inner quality of life and ensure that you are feeling good in your own skin. And this really doesn't have to be an act of gift giving that requires a lot or any money. It can be cooking something nice for yourself or baking a healthy kind of bread or biscuit, something to enjoy, making a nice salad. It could be getting a subscription to your favorite magazine or collecting some interesting rocks or shells on the beach to beautify your home. Whatever gifts would have value for you. A really good idea also is to write a birthday card for yourself 1 year in advance for your next birthday and do the same every year. So actually receive a self-care birthday message. And some people also like to give themselves gifts for their own birthday. So, and that's a good habit to make because we will learn how to celebrate ourselves and our worth and not expect others to do that for us. A great way to make room for new gifts to come into your life is also to sell or give away things that you no longer need, to declutter and to beautify your space so you feel comfortable where you live, study, and sleep. Yeah, and perhaps you're already looking around your room or in your head reorganizing your cupboard to just reflect on how you reward yourself and how you perhaps even put up with keeping things that do not contribute to making you feel good or to making your external space beautiful or sort of like a temple or sanctuary for you. That's a really, really good gift to yourself, making your living space a sanctuary. Whatever that means for you. Our fourth language, love language, is physical touch, which is really a very basic and essential human longing. And in the self-care context, this includes body self-care, from taking a bath to massaging your shoulders, your scalp, and your face. Especially rubbing this area here is really, really helpful to release stress, and also to massage your eyes quite a lot, especially if you are spending a lot of time in front of the computer. So you can make that like a little ritual. Once you finish your computer work, giving yourself a little face or forehead massage to signalize to your body that you do care and that you want to connect and become present. So you don't get up from your computer and continue on the same mental level, still focusing on what you've just done. It's really, really helpful to create a little ritual for yourself in transitioning from mental activity to becoming present in the here now, which really is so easy because all it needs to arrive in the present moment is to connect with our body. And that can also mean applying lotion or oils to your skin, taking time to pamper yourself, practice yoga or meditation to connect with your body. Some people really like exercising. And yeah, simply showing yourself and your body more affection by holding your own hands or by placing your hands on your chest to connect with the heart chakra. Always make sure that your left hand is under your right hand. And some people also like to spend time sitting in prayer position to activate the energy flow in their body and to connect this energy flow to their heart space, because the arms have meridians that lead to the heart. If you do not have anybody to hug where you are right now, you can also hug your pets if you have any. Go out, hug a tree on your walk, hug your teddy bear or a pillow or rolled up yoga mat. Just make sure that you're engaging this kind of arm-heart space on a regular basis physically. And you can also practice hugging yourself. And if you're really missing human touch, perhaps you're single during lockdown, which is also quite a challenge for a lot of people, just make sure that you're hugging yourself more frequently and perhaps cuddling with your pillow. And if you lie down in bed, you can also gently place a head behind your skull, as if you're holding your own head like a baby's head. And we hold babies in our arms, we are supporting the head. So to really, really introduce that same gentleness and care to the way that you touch yourself and interact with your body, practicing being more affectionate towards your body, being nicer to your body, and also engaging in activities that your body enjoys. So that also applies to the way that we choose how we exercise. Choose a way that your body enjoys, and don't force yourself into ways of exercising that your body does not enjoy, because that will kind of interrupt the connection that you have with yourself. Some people really love running, some people really love swimming, some people really love dancing, and some people really love going to the gym or taking a walk. So whatever is right for you, just trust that, because it will feel good while you're doing it. And also a really, really great way to reduce your stress is to stroke your arms, as this creates a very calming effect on your body, especially when you focus on a topic that upsets you. You can do that on a regular basis to provide a soothing effect for yourself. And this is part of a very successful stress release technique that many ambulance workers are using, or people who work in high stress environments. So, but even in a normal context, it's very good to just do that and provide a self-soothing effect on yourself. So And now we have arrived at our last love language, which is quality time. And from a self-care perspective, this really revolves around spending time with yourself and giving yourself your undivided attention. And this could be taking time to meditate, to engage in any kind of conscious relaxation practice, to go on a walk by yourself, and even to talk to yourself, perhaps in front of the mirror, to just connect, simply expressing. Some people like to journal to express themselves and to connect. You can also draw and you can dance to connect with your emotional nature and just to see how you are and to get on the same page with yourself. So simply spend more time connecting with yourselves in the here and now, and yeah, keep track of how you're doing emotionally, if you're mentally overloaded, if your body is tired or exhausted. Just pick up on this early before it becomes a habit or results in any kind of chronic health symptoms or any other mental health issues. So it's always really, really good to make it a habit, a new habit of checking in with yourself, just asking yourself, how am I doing today? How am I? Is there any way that I can support myself today? And you will create a new relationship with yourself step by step. And for those of you who enjoy art therapy or a bit of drawing, I have prepared an art therapy and meditation journey for the purpose of spending quality time with yourself in video 2, which you can really utilize as a way to fulfill this need for this last love language, self-care language. I hope you enjoyed learning about the love languages. For those of you who feel that they may benefit from learning about these love languages, not just in the relationships to themselves, but also in relationship to their significant others, you can go to the website, as I said before, www.5lovelanguages.com. Thank you for watching and take good care. Until next time.